optimum online security. We have a security issue with your cable modem connection. Posting copyrighted material to the newsgroup server. Waldo, cease the posting of any copyrighted material. We will shut down your cable modem service. Goodbye.
I don't believe it.
Previously on Survivor, after the two tribes merged, immunity was awarded to the winner of an incredible endurance challenge. Although Simon managed to stay on the log for 20 hours, Andy outlasted him and Richard and eventually won immunity. Later that evening, former members of Ular voted en masse to ensure that Simon became the first member of the new Sakutu tribe to be voted off the island. This is the mud volcano in the middle of Pulau Tiga. It last came to life about 50 years ago. But it's not the past that is occupying the minds of the people trying to survive on this island. It is the present and the future. And as the days go by here, so tensions increase. On Sakutu Beach, former tribal tensions are leading to upset within the new tribe.
We're on a beautiful island with the sun shining, everything I love, the sea, the sand, and I'm so miserable. It's unbelievable. Since we've merged, I haven't been happy at all. I haven't been myself. I really miss my family, my husband. I feel there's no incentive for me to stay. There's no chance I've got of winning the £1 million. And I sort of came to that conclusion when we knew we were going in a minority. But even so, the atmosphere is horrible.
It's been a bit of a struggle for food last few days. It's just been the rice. Every day you get, I think you get a little bit weaker, a little bit more tired.
Certainly we're not getting our regular dose of protein, and I think trying to cook rice for 10 in a kettle is an impossible experience. So the sort of portions of rice are smaller, so I think that things are physically a lot tougher.
This is the last of the rice.
Is it?
We've got to ration it.
Absolutely.
We can't afford to be going through it like this.
No.
We seem to be cooking rice like it's going out of fashion, and that's not the point. The point is to survive ourselves.
Eve keeps throwing away the old rice because she wants fresh hot rice every time. Well, I'm sorry, but if you're a survivor, you will eat dry, rotten, cold, horrible rice.
Next time we serve it up, Charlotte, you can have the dried, crunchy stuff.
I've eaten the dry rice, Eve, plenty of times.
We are throwing it away because we're cooking too much.
Away. That's what I'm saying.
Well, maybe you could stop cooking so much then, please.
Well, you too as well.
I'm not.
I am slightly disappointed by the attitude of some of the old Ular members towards all of the Halang members, and you know, at the end of the day, they're really not being very smart, because all we're doing is picking out the people that are coming out with the most cheap comments and, you know, reassuring ourselves with the fact that 5 of those people won't be millionaires either.
I'm just pissed off with it. I'm just looking forward to them going. I just want to get these next 3 out the way.
It'd be nice if we could all get along, sort of, you know.
It's all a little bit polite now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all like, no, please sit on my bed with your wet shorts and your sandy arse. No, I don't mind at all.
Someone who's got such an opinionated mouth can't even keep it shut for £1 million must be a pathetic madam.
Charlotte's mood's going real peaks and troughs. She'll be in tears and then excessively extrovert and bubbly. But it's this constant screech in your ear that winds me up.
She wants to go straight back into the army and start ordering round her little corporals like the little sergeant major she is. Sure, it's got nothing to do with the fact she's 4'2".
Some of the former members of Ular, however, are trying to stay on the right side of what remains of Halang, and with good reason.
If you get down to the last 2 people, certainly the 3 votes are going to come from the Halang tribe, so you've got to make friends with Halang now. I'm not putting myself in the last 2 yet, but it needs to be thought about from today rather than thought about from when you're just down to the last 6 of Ular.
What the Oh no, for f***'s sake!
No problem.
No, that's great. I just get up at the crack of flaming dawn, row out here in the middle of the sodding South China bloody sea, and throw my flaming hook in the water with no line on it. God damn it! It's Monday morning. What's the bloody point in that? What's the sodding bloody point in being bloody here? God, I haven't had this much fun since Granny caught a nipple in a f***ing mango.
First of all, welcome to Snake Island, which is a magnet in the South China Sea for the banded sea snake. Now, with that in mind, I want to tell you about today's reward challenge, the first of the individual reward challenges. You probably won't forget the last immunity challenge, which was about the ability to stay above the water for as long as you can. Well, this is about staying under the water for as long as you can. On my signal, you dive down to a beam that's fixed to the seabed, and you stay down there as long as you can. We're going to do it in 3 heats of 3 people at a time, and the 3 longest from whichever heat will contest the final. Quite simply, the winner of the reward will be the person who stays down the longest. And the reward is worth having. It's the treatment you'd get in a 5-star hotel. 5-star luxury tonight for the winner. Could the first divers get ready, please? I'll give you a signal to dive, and all 3 have to go under at the same time. Survivors ready, dive. Okay, Charlotte, that was 27 seconds. Well done, Eve, 36 seconds. Very good, James. 1:14. I wonder who'll beat that. With the next 3, please get in the water. Survivors ready, dive. Okay, Jackie, that was 15 seconds. Well done, Mick. 41 seconds. "56 seconds, Andy. Second place at the moment. Could the last group of swimmers get ready to dive, please? Survivors ready, dive. "24 seconds, Richard. "39 seconds, please. "50 seconds, Zoe. So the 3 to contest the final are James, Andy and Zoe. Okay, well you can relax, prepare for the final and enjoy the sight of the white-bellied sea eagle which is flying over. Right, could the finalists take to the water, please? That's James, Andy and Zoe. At stake here, for whoever stays down longest, a night of 5-star luxury. Survivors dive. Well done, Zoe, brave attempt, 54 seconds. .131, Andy.
Let go, James. Lovely one.
What's the point being down there?
Anytime now, open up your eyes, James, and look around. Get that weed gun. Any second now.
Well done, James. That's 1:52. That beats your last attempt. 1 minute 52 seconds. Well done. I think you win the reward outright. Right, James, I'm sure you want to know what your reward is. You'll be getting tonight the treatment you'd expect from a 5-star hotel. That's a night in the equivalent of a 5-star hotel. And you can decide whether you want to share it with someone, another member of the tribe. You have 10 seconds to decide whether you want to share it and who you want to share. Andy. Well done. I hope you have a good time. Well done. While James and Andy have a night of luxury ahead, Charlotte can only look forward to a night on Sakutu Beach alone with the 6 remaining members of Ula.
No.
I just didn't think when I just said Andy straight away.
No, it didn't matter.
You're on your own for the night.
It's not that. I'm just starving. I'm miserable anyway.
Yeah.
I just feel like quitting. I really do.
Don't do
change
it.
though.
Don't do it.
Never felt so hungry in all my life. I feel like I'm dying.
Simon always said Charlotte is basically quite insecure. She loves having men around her who'll give her the attention that she wants. And she just hasn't got that from me and Andy. We're both married guys, and, you know, I would never give her that kind of attention that she wants. When she got that from Adrian and Simon, she thrived. She's totally deprived of that here, and she's struggling.
Bit of a late release on that one.
Well, that's one way of winning.
I was absolutely gobsmacked when James picked Andy to go to the hotel with him. I thought, you know, if they were a tribe, if they were close-knit, he would have seen her distress, her suffering, and I think that would have been great for Charlotte to have gone.
Have fun. Enjoy.
Yeah, thanks.
Savour
See you
the
tomorrow.
flavour.
The wonderful thought that came across my mind, and I'd had it earlier,
Yeah.
was that Ula aren't going to win this reward.
Yeah.
That was my only
Oh, yeah,
motivation for doing
excellent.
well at a reward challenge.
Of course.
That was my
Yeah.
only motivation.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't win it. Can't believe it.
There is here a dining table.
Look at that. A real table.
Dining table.
I haven't even seen
It's
it.
food.
Meal, a 3-course meal,
Wow.
red wine, Italian wine, a couple of cigars afterwards.
Fantastic.
God.
So you haven't eaten like this for 20
No.
odd days.
I've never eaten like
Amazing.
that.
And before dinner, you can take a hot tub.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic.
What's up?
All sorts of lotions,
Oh,
Shampoo!
and
bath gel.
Rosie
Towels.
is a
Hi,
trained
Rosie.
masseuse
Hello.
Really?
who I'm sure you'll
Fantastic.
make use of, particularly after
Nice.
23 hours
Yes.
on a log.
Unbelievable.
So Rosie will do her best to look after you, and once you've dined, had your hot tub, a bed,
God, a real bed.
Fantastic.
pillows.
Pillows.
Real mattress. Unbelievable.
They don't share their pillows with us, do they?
Don't they share their pillows?
No.
You've got your own now. So you've got a sarong, shirt, real posh and Beck stuff. So,
Yeah.
but give us your clothes, we'll get them laundered, pressed,
Okay.
and get
Fantastic.
them back to you tomorrow.
Can't believe it.
Fantastic.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks, James.
It's my pleasure.
Brilliant. What are we going to do first?
It's got to be the hot tub.
Hot tub. Oh.
That is fantastic. Get truly clean for the first time, yeah?
I may not move from here for an hour or two.
I know, just look at the sunset, it's amazing. This is totally unexpected.
There's only one thing that would make this better.
What's that?
Is if the other 7 sat watching us.
Yeah. Definitely.
haven't washed my hair for 22 days. Or is it longer? I can't remember now.
Wow, that feels fantastic having your hair clean. That feels really good.
I'm in heaven. I can't speak.
I smell good for the first time, trees. This is my toughest challenge yet.
James, my very great friend. Cheers.
Yeah, you're my inspiration for my further days on this island if I'm lucky enough to get them.
Cheers. Cheers.
But the food situation back there is not good. No. Especially if they don't start catching fish.
Yeah.
Are we worried tonight?
Are we worried?
No.
Could we give a bugger?
No.
Although day 24 starts overcast, it does nothing to dampen James and Andy's spirits.
Let's get started.
Good morning, James.
Good morning. Did you sleep well?
Very well indeed, yeah.
Marvellous. We're going to have to tell them that these rewards are worth winning. They're not worth losing immunity for, but they are bloody worth winning.
This is very good, isn't it?
Very good.
Rat thermidor, my particular favourite.
Rat Wellington.
Ratatouille, sliced delicately with vegetables and sauce.
Rat ovan. He'll love the tie.
Rat fondue, my favourite.
Rat curry.
Dip a hot rat into melted chocolate. And a rigor mortis of its tail like that.
How many people want?
I want all the bits, yeah.
1, 2, 3. You? No thanks.
Sakutu won't have to share their rat, as James and Andy have already enjoyed a hearty breakfast.
Oh, hey!
Oh, what?
Hi, honey. We're home.
Fantastic shirt.
Posh and Bex, do you reckon?
Charlotte, that's for you.
Oh, thank you, darling. What happened?
What was the first thing that happened?
Come
We
on,
got
here,
there.
step by step.
There was a hot tub with like all these bath lotions. You probably can smell us. Can you smell us?
Smell that.
Oh, yeah.
Speaks of heaven.
They're great, those shirts.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And the sarongs, they're lovely.
Your shirts are fantastic.
We had a fantastic night.
Did you?
Yeah, we had a lovely
Oh,
meal.
James and Andy, I don't want to tell you because you'll just be jealous, won't they? Well, what happened? Well, we sat around, we ate some rice, and then Pete speared a rat through the head with a harpoon.
Yeah.
And then we all went to bed.
Then we all went to bed.
It's very interesting to come back and see the effect it's had on different people. I just particularly noticed Richard's been very, very quiet this morning. He didn't really want to know.
Digging a shit pit. And then I think one of us might just use it. But not me.
We've had to train Halang how to use the toilet.
It was an arduous process, but we think they're getting used to it.
I pointed out that we did have a toilet and that perhaps the dropping of dumps willy-nilly wasn't.
We gave Simon a map on how to find it, but that's probably part of the reason he didn't get here.
We might be in Borneo in our threadbare bikinis, but we're not animals, really.
And basics like finding your own arse with a piece of paper we reckon people should have learnt, and it should have been on their application form.
Since the tribes merged, things have been going only one way on this island. Given their numerical supremacy, Ula have vowed to eliminate their rivals. The only way Halang members can sustain their presence on the island now, it seems, is to win immunity challenges.
Obviously, it's second immunity day today. and you know, I couldn't have had a better preparation in the previous 24 hours or so than I've had. Had a really good meal, fantastic night's sleep, good breakfast this morning, so I'm well fed, well rested, and I'm going to do my damnedest to win today.
Welcome to a windy bird island for your immunity challenge. Many of the challenges so far have been about strength and stamina and determination, qualities you need for survival, but surviving is also about acquiring knowledge, learning what you can and what you can't eat, how to avoid danger, and that's what this challenge is all about. I have here several questions which are in multiple choice form. How you answer those questions will determine where you move on these logs. If the answer is A, or you think the answer is A, you advance. If you think the answer is B, you go back. If you think the answer is C, you stay exactly where you are. If you get a question wrong, you're eliminated. Quite simply, it's the person who lasts to the end who will get the immunity amulet. Question 1. One of the inhabitants of Snake Island is the sea eagle. Is it A, the white-bellied sea eagle, B, the white-crested sea eagle, or C, the white-clawed sea eagle? Make your decision now. The answer is A, the white-bellied sea eagle. You're all still in the game. How many types of edible nut are on this island? Is it A, 1, B, none, C, 3? Make your decision now. The answer is A, 1. Charlotte, Neve, you're eliminated. Many species of fish can be caught off this island. Which one of these will you not be able to catch off the island? A, goatfish, B, rabbitfish, C, chickenfish. Make your decision now. The answer is C, chickenfish. Richard, you're eliminated. If a moray eel bites you, the only way to free it is A, cut the back of its head, B, squeeze its abdomen, C, stand on its tail. Make your decision now. The answer is A, cut the back of its head. Zoe, you're eliminated. Termites on this island are commonly known as A, white ants, B, green ants, C, fire ants. Make your decision now. The answer is A, white ants. Michael, Jackie, and Andy, you're eliminated. James and Peter are the last two in the game. If a snake bites you on the hand, you should hold your hand A, above your heart, B, level with your heart, C, below the heart. Make your decision now. The answer is C, below the heart. You should have stayed where you were. James, you're eliminated. Although the next tribal council is approaching, Sakutu's thoughts always revert to how to find food.
Come on, ratties, where have you gone? There's over 50 million of them, and now there's none.
There's one that comes past my hammock at the same time every morning.
Really?
Yeah, about 5:45.
Really?
Must be his local commute or something.
All the way back.
So if I'm going to take this stick, I'll get him tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is another tribal council, which will be a bit sad because it looks pretty likely that they'll vote Andy off.
I obviously wanted to win the immunity challenge today, which I didn't win, and I'm absolutely certain that I will be the next target to be voted off tomorrow.
So now it's down to Charlotte and me to keep the flag flying. But it'll be a shame that Andy's not here. Definitely, I'll miss him.
It's nice to have won. It's nice to have won immunity at least once for myself. It's nice, hopefully, that people won't consider me just as a dumb model. I know a little bit. And just really with a tinge of sadness, because I was hoping Andy would win immunity today. Because I think he's a great guy. Hard decision, hard game, tough rules. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night. I was just going through my mind the decision I was going to have to make in tribal council tonight. I went for a walk this morning down the beach, just really by myself, just to get my thoughts together. And I bumped into one or two people from Ula. I had a few chats with them. I'm frightened that it will come to the votes on the last day, and there'll be two people that I couldn't give a monkeys who won the £1 million, and that's so wrong, because the £1 million it's a life-changing thing, and it can do a lot of good and it can do a lot of harm. It's a big responsibility.
First thing I knew about it was when Zoe approached me and said, look, Pete's a bit upset, and I saw him down the beach, so I wandered over and, you know, just to see what was going on, what was on his mind. But it's possible to just detach from the game, you know.
Pardon?
I said it's possible to detach from the game.
It is.
I think, you know, he's worried about Charlotte, Andy and James, you know. They're nice people and he doesn't want to vote them off, and, you know, Pete's an idealist. He's very, you know, very true to his faith. He won't lie, he won't backstab, he won't cheat. When people are sick and you can't fix them quickly.
Right.
It's often hard work, you know, to switch off, but yeah, there's still hope, isn't there? Because without hope there isn't anything, is there?
I spoke to Andy last night basically to say, you know, do you want us to come up with some kind of desperate measure to try and save you? And he said no. He said basically, I know there's nothing that can be done. The only interesting thing that's happened between Andy is that he's made a very good friendship with Pete in the last couple of days, to the extent where Pete said to him yesterday, you know, isn't there anything we can do?
I want you to promise you can vote against me tonight, because I'm ready to go. I want you to promise that you're going to be in the last two, because if you're in the last two, you'll win the £1 million. Think of how much good you could do with £1 million. Nobody else here would, but you would.
You don't know whether people...
Well, I've got a pretty good idea. But the only way you can do that is if you do vote against me, because if you don't vote against me tonight, you will suffer.
The main problem is I gave my word to Ular, but then, having considered the word I've given, how just was that word? Do I think it's right to stick by my word when I think something unjust is going to happen at the end of it? Or do I break my word to try and make something more just happen later on? Does the means justify the end? And which way round do I go? It's a nightmare.
This isn't really a place for a conscience, you know. This is a game, and the rules aren't written down in black and white. The rules are made up as you go along. If you voted with your heart all the time, you'd be out next week.
We went on a raft trip this morning, 5 of us, 3 Helang members, and originally just Pete. James, let's see if you can find a water bottle.
Sorry?
We did have a water bottle, but it's disappeared somewhere. And then at the last minute, Richard decided he was coming, and I think he came for his own self-interest.
the reason for going out onto the raft was purely to protect Pete and just to make sure that the thumb screws weren't being turned too much.
Okay. Too right. I'll come back for a second. Just I'll sort your line out for you.
It's beautiful down there.
Certainly, I think what they're playing on is, you know, Pete, you're an athlete. Pete, you won immunity. Pete, you're the guy that deserves to win Survivor. You know, yeah. If you get that far, you know, we'll vote for you.
I'm quite convinced they're still actually plotting and scheming,
Yeah.
even today.
But good for them though.
Oh yeah,
But
it's all part of it.
they don't need to be bitter about it.
Just do it.
Just be resigned to failure. Losers. I think they're working on Pete on his moral obligations to who deserves to win it.
Yeah, I think so as well.
It's just a bit annoying that they're having these discussions on who deserves to win rather than playing the game as I would have thought it had been intended, like picking off the strong.
Yeah.
But he's sealed his own fate if he doesn't vote off Andy, because we'd just vote him off next because we can't trust him.
If he goes that way.
Yeah, if he does it, if he does it. If he doesn't, then fair enough. We'll vote him off anyway.
I know.
Sorry, Albie.
What have you got?
Giant
I'm
whale
Charlotte
shark.
Should we all be quiet? I'm fishing. Well done. That's brilliant.
Do you know there's not a fish left in the South China Sea? They're all like that in the Pacific going.
Shut up.
It's early evening on the island, and in an hour's time Sakuta will be heading for Tribal Council. The least worried will be Pete. He has immunity. The most worried, former Halang members. Old tribal loyalties, it seems, still run deep.
I suppose in the 3, 4, 5 days that I've been here, it would be correct to say that I have made no attempt to change the dynamic within the group. Perhaps I could have made more of an attempt, but there are things that I am not prepared to sacrifice, both personally and in terms of relationships, for the benefit of the game.
As the sun sets, Sakutu pack up their belongings and set off on the trek to their second tribal council, stopping on the way at the mud volcano. But whoever is voted off the island tonight will still have an important part to play as the first member of the 7-strong jury that will eventually choose the ultimate survivor and the winner of £1 million. And it's worth remembering that in the event of a tied vote at Tribal Council, previous votes against an individual will come into play and determine who goes. Welcome, Sakutu Tribal Council. Could you place your torches in the stands and take your seats for Tribal Council? First of all, let me congratulate you on reaching the last 9, a crucial stage of the challenge. I want to explain to you how the Tribal Council will change from here on in. Someone will be voted off the island tonight, but they will not be going home. Instead, they'll become the first member of a new jury, a jury that will sit here and observe and listen to what is going on at subsequent tribal councils, a jury that will have 1 extra person after each tribal council. So a maximum of 7 people. It'll be a powerful jury because ultimately, when there are 2 survivors left, it will decide which one will win £1 million. Now, I'm telling you this because when you vote from now on, when you cast your vote against an individual, it may be that that vote comes back to haunt you. But let's just talk about the last few days. Richard, at the last Tribal Council, you made no secret of your strategy, if you like. You said, I stay loyal to what was Ula. Has anything happened to change your mind about that strategy?
No, still remain loyal to that.
Is it an easy decision to decide which member of Halang to vote against?
It's an easy decision because Andy, I feel, is the strongest person and the biggest threat. He was my nemesis for 23 hours. He's going to remain my nemesis for quite a long time to come. So I'll be voting for Andy this evening.
So Andy, how do you feel about being considered the strongest and being now in this position?
I will be voted off the island in the next few minutes. The reason being that the majority of people here who will vote for me know that if they fail to do that, I will punish them severely at the forthcoming immunity challenges, and I take that as a compliment.
Is it important to you, in the light of what you've just said, in the light of what Richard said, that you are part of this jury?
I have already started forming views as to who I might like to see win the first prize and who I might not like to see win the first prize.
James, when you won the reward, you chose Andy to share it with you. Did it ever cross your mind to invite someone from Ula to try and build bridges?
No.
Okay, well, we have to vote. Just before we do so, I should just reiterate that whoever you do vote against tonight, they will ultimately decide whether you or someone else wins the £1 million. So, with that in mind, we should vote. Michael, will you start the voting, please?
And I think enough has been said. Good luck.
As my final act, I continue to play this game to a strategy that I hope will benefit Charlotte, James, or Pete.
Tonight I'm voting for Richard. We think he thinks we trust him, but we don't.
Richard, we're just playing with the boats.
You're a great competitor, and it's to your credit that we're voting you off now because you are a threat to us.
I'll count the votes. Jackie. Richard. Richard. Andy. 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 Andy, could you fetch your torch and join me at the stand, please? Andy, you know that fire represents your life on this island. Your life as part of the tribe has come to an end. So could you extinguish the flame, please? Tribe has spoken, Andy. You have to leave.
Thank you, Mark. Take care. I take this evening's events as a compliment. Thank you all for the compliment you've paid me, and good luck for the rest of the game.
As you know, Andy will be back as the first jury member when the 8 of you return here to the next tribal council. One of you will be joining him. Now could you collect your torches, return to your camp, and I'll see you tomorrow.
The person that I think may well go on to win this game is quite possibly Richard, but he is not the person that I hope wins this game.
I think you're right. This might be the only opportunity we get to vote you off.
As a former Halang tribe member, he's got to go.
You're a really lovely bloke, but I'll never win with you in the game. Sorry.
The person that I hope wins this game, there are two. They would be either James or Pete.
This is the first part, I promise. I'll try and keep the second part as well.
If I could write my own epitaph, it would be this. The people he loves and his friends can respect the way he played the game and respect the way he conducted himself. Theirs is the only verdict that is important.
A powerful competitor, Andy had to take charge in Halang and finally emerged as their natural leader. Tomorrow night, see Andy's story. Next time on Survivor, some of Sakutu have victory on their minds and revenge in their sight.
I would do my damnedest to make sure she doesn't win £1 million because she's a bossy little crow.
Now Andy's got his breath back. He's waiting to answer your questions on the live web chat. And if you fancy your own island adventure, play Tribal Quest, the official Survivor game for your chance to win a dream holiday to the Maldives. Go now to www.itv-survivor.co.uk.